Oh, good morning. It's a chilly one. I don't know, whatever I do to my hair these days, I end up looking like Boris Johnson. No, nobody looks like Boris Johnson, apart from his father. Right, how are you all? Is everything all right out there? It's another very chilly one. Even our most hardy neighbour, who is always in shorts, had a hat on this morning. That's all I'm saying. So if anybody feels like a lesser creature this morning, for that, do not panic. I have coffee. I am warm-ish. As you know, I have no central heating in this house, but never mind. Well, I do. I have two radiators that work. One is in Fion's room and one is in the airing cupboard. Not a bit of good. But never mind, because I lived in a house for many years in Merton with no central heating at all. But there is an engineer coming out by the end of January. So how exciting is that? I won't know myself. I'll be like that. Let's have a little bit of a warm-up. Why don't we? Let's have a bit of Yellow Bird. And good morning, Hayley. How are you, my lovely? Oh, and I don't know if he's up yet, but Brian is out of hospital. So if you're watching, Brian, and you may catch up with this later, it's so lovely to have you home. Can't tell you. Hope you're feeling all right. And I bet, lady, where are you there? Llangavelach? Oh, I don't know. Lady Treborth, what is she? Anyway, I bet she's looking after you beautifully, like she always does, and quite right too. You deserve it. So let's have a bit of Yellow Bird and Knees at Mother Brown. Let's start with Yellow Bird. Let's pretend we're somewhere warm. Yellow bird up high in banana tree. Yellow bird, you sit all alone like me. Has your lady friend left the nest again? That would make me mad, make me feel so sad. You can fly away to the sky away, you're more lucky than me. Yellow bird up high in banana tree. Yellow bird, you sit all alone like me. Has your lady friend left the nest again? That would make me sad, make me feel so bad. You could fly away to the sky away, you're more lucky than me. Knees up, Mother Brown, knees up, Mother Brown. Under the table you must go, E-I-E-I-E-I-O. If I catch you bending, I'll saw your legs right off. Knees up, don't get the breeze up, knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, what a rotten song, what a rotten song, what a rotten song. Oh, what a rotten song, and what a rotten singer too. Knees up, Mother Brown, knees up, Mother Brown. Under the table you must go, E-I-E-I-E-I-O. If I catch you bending, I'll sew your legs right off. Knees up, don't get the breeze up, knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, what a rotten song, what a rotten song, what a rotten song. Oh, what a rotten song, and what a rotten singer too. One more time. Knees up, Mother Brown, knees up, Mother Brown. Under the table you must go, E-I-E-I-E-I-O. If I catch you bending, I'll sew your legs right off. Knees up, don't get the breeze up, knees up, Mother Brown. Oh, what a rotten song, what a rotten song, what a rotten song. Oh, what a rotten song, and what a rotten singer too. Oh, now, did anybody see on the news, lovely Jerry Marsden passed away at the weekend, didn't he? The man who was the front man of Jerry and the Pacemakers, responsible for so many beautiful songs. We're going to do a couple of those this morning. We're going to start with a bit of Rose Garden. Come on, everybody. Let's get dancing around the kitchen. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gonna be a little rain sometime. When you take, you gotta give. So live and let go. Oh, 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 I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. I could promise you things like big diamond rings, but you won't find roses growing on stalks of clover. You better think it over. Well, if sweet talking you could make it come true, I would give you the world right now on a silver platter. But what would it matter? So smile for a while and let's be jolly. Love shouldn't be so melancholy. Come along and share the good times while we can. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gonna be a little rain sometime. Leslie, it is brr. It is brr. Here we go. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. I could promise you things like big diamond rings, but you won't find roses growing on stalks of clover. You better think it over. Well, if sweet talking you could make it come true, I would give you the world right now on a silver platter. But what would it matter? So smile for a while and let's be jolly. Love shouldn't be so melancholy. Come along and share the good times while we can. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden along with the sunshine. There's gonna be a little rain sometime. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a rose garden. Ooh. Oh, very good. Right. Now then, what did I have lined up next? A little bit more country. Yes. Glen Campbell. Rhinestone Cowboy. Shall we, everybody? Here we go then. Oh, do you know, it's so funny. Does anybody else have one of these anythings? I don't, but this is one that Helen gives me for work, to work with you guys. Well, well, well. It doesn't like it when it's cold. Honestly, temperamental. Dear, dear, dear. Wouldn't have had that in the old days, would you? They've all got unions now, these iPads, haven't they? Coffee. Hang on now. Let's go with this one. Otherwise, we'll be doing a bit of, which was my next choice. Hang on. It's a coming, everybody. It's a coming. Next, after this, anyway, I thought we'd be doing a bit of carrying on in the country theme. Even if you don't think of them, the Carpenters are country, so we're going to do a bit of Carpenters after this. John Burgess will be happy. I've been walking these streets so long, singing the same old song. I know every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get washed away like the snow and the rain. There's been a lot of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. Right, that just went funny then, right? So I played it on the piano. We're back on the backing track. Rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, Getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. Well, I really don't mind the rain, and a smile can hide all the pain. But you're down when you're riding the train that's taking the long way. And I dream of the things I'll do, with a subway token and $1 tucked inside my shoe. There's been a lot of compromising on the road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy. Getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. Like a rhinestone cowboy, riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy. Getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. Boo. Oh, fab. Right, it's so funny because I asked my lovely Fee while I was going out to get some milk to get a song up called How Do You Do? Because that's what I thought we would do. And she's come up with a lovely song by Roxette. Never heard of them. Right, how do you do Jerry and the Pacemakers? And then we'll do a bit of How Do You Do, because I think I've told you this before. When I was growing up, I had an album called Songs of the 60s. And it had the Swinging Blue Jeans and early Cilla Black and Hollies. And then it had this, and it's not called How Do You Do. That's why it's gone wrong. It's because it's called How Do You Do It, apparently. Now, yes, I was listening to people talking on the radio about Jerry Marsden yesterday and saying the reason, and it, like so many other things that happen just by chance, the reason he loved You'll Never Walk Alone so much is because he went to see a morning show in it wasn't the Empire, obviously, in Liverpool, because that's the theatre, but in one of the, the cinemas in Liverpool. And it was raining. So he stayed for the first one, which was like Charlie Chaplin or something. And then he decided he wasn't going to go back home in the rain. So he stayed for the second film, which was, of course, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Carousel. And of course, he was moved so much by You'll Never Walk Alone that he went back to his record company and said, we need to do this as a cover. Somebody heard him singing it. The next week it was being sung at the Cobb, and the rest, as they say, is history. So once this decides to start behaving itself, we will do How Do You Do It? And then later on, I promise, we'll do a little bit of You'll Never Walk Alone. Oh, this is really, really slow today. Do you know, I haven't had these problems for months, have I? And do you know what it is? It's because the kids are all back in school and people are all online again, isn't it? How very dare they? Yes, the unis are already back. Primary schools got sent home one day, sent into school yesterday in England, and got sent from today, they're not in. They don't know whether they're coming or going, some of them, do they, poor little souls? Here we go, I know it's coming. Here we go. How do you do what you do to me? I wish I knew. If I knew how I'd do it to me, I'd do it to you. How do you do what you do to me? I'm feeling blue. Wish I knew how you do it to me, but I haven't a clue. You give me a feeling in my heart, like an arrow passing through it. Suppose that you think you're very smart, but won't you tell me how do you do it? How do you do what you do to me? If I only knew, then perhaps you'd fall for me like I fell for you. Unmistakably, 60s piano, such a cool era. Here we go. You give me a feeling in my heart, like an arrow passing through it. Suppose that you think you're very smart, but won't you tell me how do you do it? How do you do what you do to me? If I only knew, then perhaps you'd fall for me like I fell for you when I do it to you. Oh, very, very good. You know, there was an optimum time, wasn't there? An optimum duration for a song back in the 60s. And it was something like 1 minute 52 or something like that. And it's like, no, I don't want it to finish. I want there to be another 7 verses like there are in You Raise Me Up. Right, just going to swig of this. Oh, cold black coffee. Can't fault it. Okay. I did say we're going to have a bit of Carpenters, didn't I? Here we go. It's Top of the World. Oh, I've lent on something. Hang on. Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are near. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. Something in the wind has learned my name, and it's telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves of the trees and the touch of the breeze, there's a pleasing sense of happiness for me. There is only one wish on my mind. When this day is through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same for you and me. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. I'm on the top of the world looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. All better now. The Carpenters have made an appearance. Right, let's have a bit of Saucepan Bach. Mae fis Marian wedi brifo, a dofydd y gwas ddim yn iach. Mae baban yn y cryd yn crio, a'r gath wedi yn berwi ar y tân, sosban fawr yn berwi ar y llaw, a'r gath wedi sgramo Johnny bach. Mae bisberian wedi gwella, a Dafydd y gwas yn ei fydd. Mae baban yn y cryd wedi tyfu, a'r gath wedi huno mewn hedd. Sosban bach yn berwi ar y tân, sosban fawr yn berwi ar y llaw, a'r gath wedi huno mewn hedd. Dau bach yn soldiwr, dau bach yn soldiwr, dau bach yn soldiwr a fwde grisau mas. Sosban bach yn berwi ar y tân, sosban fawr yn berwi ar y llaw, a'r gath wedi sgramo Johnny bach. Aye. Oh, do you know, I love the fact that my neighbours walk past and they think I'm singing to myself. That's okay. So you've only got to worry when you sing back at yourself, haven't you? That's right, Ros, you have. Excellent. We're the only people who make sense in this house. So let's finish with a bit of For Our Jerry Marsden, written way back in the by Rodgers and Hammerstein in the 40s. You'll Never Walk Alone, as I say, adopted by Liverpool football team. Just as well Mary's not listening, because we all know she's a West Ham fan. There may be some switching around to do here, don't forget, okay? When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky, and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Nah, he'll never walk alone, will he? Not after he sang that. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Ta-ra.